Hey, hi, my name is Bana Christine, and I'm a student at Mount Kenya University. And this is my project, this is my documentary, which has a topic: the importance of radio broadcasting in promoting intercultural communication. And you are going to watch people who are going to explain everything or what you don't know about intercultural communication and the importance of radio broadcasting in that promotion.
When you talked about intercultural communication, it is the form of communication which deals with various people with different cultures, different social groups, like religion groups which are different. And that communication it mostly based on languages communication, and also it may be based on some signs, but mainly based on languages.
Intercultural communication. I'm not very good with English, but I'll say these are cultures communicating to each other. People joining different cultures, learning from each other, and understanding the difference between one culture and another, and letting the other culture be whatever it is about, and you trying to learn about that culture, and you try to teach your culture to that person, and you find where you meet or where there is a common understanding. And sometimes if you don't understand another person's culture, you may intend to judge or to just be angry or get mad at it simply because you don't understand it. But this person has grown up in that culture. It's been like 20 years. He's been in this culture. So sometimes it's difficult for other people to interact or to understand the other person's culture.
Intercultural communication is basically the relationship between culture and communication. So, for example, people from Rwanda and Burundi have different communication skills. So basically their cultures are different, but when they communicate, it's the communication becomes a little bit similar, because they have almost the same language, but their cultures are very different. But people from Kenya or Uganda, when they're about to communicate, they basically use sign language or use a specific language that they will both understand. But the cultures, when cultures are different, the communications are also different, because we are all raised in different manners, so our culture determines our communication.
When it comes to culture communication, to me it is very, very important. Very important. Why? You explore the world. You understand there are very many different people, different from you, different from your mom, your dad, different, totally different from your culture. So it is very important. It makes the world, or it makes life so interesting, knowing that it's not only about me, it's about even other people. To me, it is very, very nice and very important. Yeah, like me, I grew up in a Ugandan culture. I came to Rwanda long time ago. It was early 95. I learned the Rwandan culture. First, it was complicated. It was my first time. I've never been here. My mom was here, but I've never been here. It was kind of complicated, but I learned. And there are very many, if you talk to old people, if you talk to old guys, you find out that there's too much in common. simply because you don't talk to old people. But if you talk to them, there is too much in common. Yeah, and it is very interesting. You mixing the Ugandan culture and the Rwandan culture. I got married to a Rwandan lady who is mixed with the Burundi culture. You see that mixture. There's Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi. We met in Rwanda. She's from Burundi. I'm from Uganda. And there is that mixing. To me, it is interesting. Nothing complicated.
Intercultural communication in Rwanda, actually it doesn't deal with most elements, because most of the Rwandans, they share the common cultures, the common languages, but it has some contribution on the communication, because there are some small parts of people, especially in the northern province, which somehow have the language which is different from some other languages commonly known in Rwanda. Then when comes to be intercultural communication, when you go there, you find that there is a bit little difference, but it doesn't matter a lot. Even if you don't share the same language, but sometimes you hear the content, you hear what he is trying to say. So in Rwanda, intercultural communication also, even if it doesn't only rely on the language, but also on the religion, on the ethnic group. But in Rwanda, it doesn't contribute a lot, since Rwandans, they consider the same. We don't have those ethnic groups which are based on same characteristics. All Rwandans have the same characteristics, and thus there isn't more difference between Rwandans.
Well, basically, we all know that the radio is a form of is a way of transmitting messages from the radio station to the whole country or the whole population. So radios help people to learn about different things, to learn about the world, to learn about the people, their cultures, the news. So especially in Rwanda, people listen to radio more than they watch TV. So the radio is a way of life. It's like you get to know things you don't know by just listening to someone speaking on the radio. And radio are very useful to our country because, you know, people get to learn different things by listening to the radio. And for our population, the radio is actually, the radio industry is developing because people listen to the radio more than they do watch TV.
In Rwanda, it is still kind of complicated. Rwandan people do not travel a lot. I mean the local people. They do not move a lot. And they are used to one culture. Like me, I come from Uganda. There are different cultures. You see, there is the Banyankole, there is the Batoro, there is the Baganda, there is the Basoga. There are very many different cultures. It's not a Ugandan culture and it's not a Ugandan culture. We are mixed up. You see, in Rwanda, there is only Rwandans. You see, and their culture is one. As far as I know, they are all Rwandese. They are not mixed up with different cultures, which is different from Kenya, different from Congo, different from Uganda. So in Rwanda, it's kind of complicated. People haven't traveled away. They're used to their culture. They like it, they respect it, and they want to keep it that way. So I think if they join East Africa, as time goes by, it will take some time, but as time goes by, they will adapt other different cultures, and it will be more interesting than what it is right now.
Thank you once again. Even if I gave you an example of Radio Rwanda, also in contact as one of the local radios, also deals with local community interests. Also as well as other radios, we deal with such kind of communication. For instance, we have a talk show on Saturday morning, Contact Muri Byabihe. It deals with the how people express their views, how people here deals with their life, and how now they are developing. So in such development, we also deals with the way of communicating.
It is very important because very many people listen to radio. Millions of people listening. When I started working with radio, I started the biggest part of my show, or my starting with radio, was about a Ugandan show. People who came from Uganda, who stayed in Rwanda, we introduced a Ugandan show, and you could hear Rwandese enjoying, interacting, starting to speak Luganda, even if they are not from Uganda. It is very important because it is one of the platforms that can make a great impact as far as culture, communication, or as far as the importance of culture is concerned, because the radio has to explain. Millions of people are listening, so you can explain to more than 20 people without even moving from where you are. So radio is one of the most platform that can actually do a big job.
Personally, I listen to the radio. As you can see, I'm a very young girl, so I listen to the radio just to listen to music, to get to know what's happening in the world, to get to know about the Rwandan artists, to get to know about the fashion industry, how they're working. And so the radio helps me to entertain myself. When I listen to the radio, well, I get into a better mood. I get to do things while listening to the radio. And so, yeah, it's just a form of occupation. Just listening to the radio is good. Yeah. Well, the radio helps to enhance the cultural aspect in Rwanda by, for example, if they invite the Minister of Culture to the radio and they keep talking about the Rwandan culture, how we should behave, what we should do and what we should not do. And then there I'll get to know what I have to do and what I don't have to do, because the radio has helped me to learn more about my culture and to be more patriotic.
After watching this, I hope you learn a lot. The intercultural communication, we heard that in Rwanda there is a problem because people in Rwanda don't move a lot, but outside interculture is the communication or the interaction between two cultures or many cultures, and you have to know each culture, how they act, how they speak, and you have to be kind with the people who don't have the same culture as yours, because you don't know what they how they speak, how they act in their culture, and in your culture perhaps we act differently. As we heard, we have to increase the movement or to listen to the radio so that to develop our intercultural communication. Thank you so much for watching. This is Bana Christine, the student of Mount Kenya. Thank you.